Hi there everyone, this is the Innovative Traders and welcome to our channel. And thanks to everyone that is subscribed to this channel. I really hope you get to learn a thing or two from this channel. So yeah guys, in this video I'll be explaining on how to identify a trend, because whenever you're a trader you have to know that knowing how to identify a trend is the most important skill one has to master as a basic in order for you to get to know what to do on which areas of the market. So now let us start by identifying what a trend is. As you can see on the screen, a trend is basically a tendency for price to move in a particular direction for a period of time. It's a tendency for price to move in a particular direction for a period of time. It can either be to the upside, downside, or sideways. So now, in a trend on the market, we basically have three types of trends. Which is an uptrend, it's a bullish market. We have a downtrend, it's a bearish market. We have a ranging market, this is a sideways market. These are the three types of trends that you're going to find mostly on the forex market. So now let us identify each of these trends one by one and just give an illustration on the screen of how do they look like and how to identify them. So now let us start with an uptrend. Let me remove this. Let me start with an uptrend. So for an uptrend is basically you will see price rising and creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. You will see price rising and creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. Let me write it down also. You'll see price rising for an uptrend. Okay, let me say for an uptrend. For an uptrend, you will see price rising and creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. For an uptrend, you'll see price rising and creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. That's how we defined an uptrend. So now what do I mean by that? Let me give you a quick illustration using a drawing. So you can write this down if you want. Remember, I said a trend is basically a tendency for price to move in a particular direction for a period of time. And we have three types of trends, which is an uptrend, downtrend, and a ranging market. It's a ranging trend. So what is an uptrend? For an uptrend, you'll see price rising and creating sequence of higher highs and higher lows. What do I mean by that? Let us take a look at a quick rough sketch. An uptrend, something like this. I'll explain after I draw it. So now, what do you mean when you say price will create a sequence of higher highs and higher lows? The first thing that you're going to see whenever you identify an uptrend is that you'll see price giving you a low. After giving you a low, it will push up, give you a high, then exhaust to the downside, then give you a higher low. After a higher low, it will push back to the upside. Why do you call this part a higher low? It's because of it is higher than the previous low. Do you understand? It's because it is higher than the previous low. Hence we're calling it a higher low, because of it hasn't broken the previous low. Let me repeat that again. Reason why we call this a higher low is because it is higher than the previous low. It is higher than the, hence we're calling it what? A higher low. So now price will give you a sequence of, let me write it HH means higher high, ne? A sequence of higher highs and higher lows. A sequence of higher highs and higher lows. Higher highs and higher lows. At the bottom we have higher lows, which is HL. Higher lows. Yeah. So for an uptrend, price will give you a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. as you can see on the screen here, we have a low. Okay, let me write this down. We have a low, all right, and this one here, it's a low also. I mean a high, I mean to say. It's a high. So we have a low. From a low we have what? A high. After a high we have a higher low. The reason we're calling this a higher low, it's higher than the previous low. After a higher low, you'll see price creating a new higher high. It's a higher high because of it's higher than the previous high. So at the top we're having higher highs, at the bottom we're having lower lows. Hence we're saying price will create a sequence of higher highs and higher lows as it keeps on rising to the upside. As it keeps on rising to the upside. So that is how you identify an uptrend. You'll see price giving you a sequence of higher highs and higher lows as it rises towards the upside. This is a low. After low you'll see a high. After a high you'll see a higher low because it's lower than this one. After a higher low we're expecting price to break this high and giving us what? A new high. After a higher high, price will exhaust again, give us a new higher low. Higher high, new higher low. Higher high and new higher low up until a trend reach its destination. So basically we keep on making new highs as we keep on breaking previous highs. Basically, I hope that makes sense. We're making new highs as we keep on breaking the previous highs. We broke this one, we made a new high. We return back down, we didn't break this one, that's why we're calling this what? A higher low. Then we broke this high, forming what? A new higher high. That is why we're saying price keeps on forming new higher highs and higher lows as it keeps on rising. Hence we said an uptrend, you will see price rising and creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. Now let us take a look at a chart, for example, to see how it looks like on a real-time market. Now let's take a look at this one. Okay, let's bring back price to yeah. If you can check this condition here, this market condition, price is moving slightly towards the upside, indicating for us this is an uptrend. How do we see that? We are seeing price keeps on giving us new highs. This is a high. This is our first high. This is a low. Then price pushed back down. It failed to break this one. It gives us what? A higher low because it's higher than the previous low. So now this is our higher low. After our higher low, if you can check, price pushed up. It didn't break this high, so we don't count this one here. It came back down as a retest. So now how we're going to count it? It has to break this level. So if you can check from this one, it broke the high, basically meaning this one here, it's our higher high. It's only a higher high after it has broken the previous high, basically. So now we're having okay, sorry about that one, a higher high. At the bottom we're having higher lows. Let me make it a quick copy. As you can see, price is moving towards the upside. How do we see that? It keeps on creating new higher highs and new higher lows. That's how we get to identify an uptrend. Price is creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows as it rises to the upside. This is how it looks like on a real-time market. This is basically identifying what they call structure. Okay, let's write HH, which is higher high. HH, which is a higher high. This one, remember this one, it's still at the same level as this one. So basically this is actually one high. That's why I don't count it as a new higher high. In order for it to be a new higher high, it has to break the previous high. I hope you understand me on that one. So now Okay, another high here. Now price is going for a new high. Let us now start from here. Price gave us a low, it pushed back up, it gave us a high, it came back down, failed to break this low, giving us what? A new higher low. So it shot back up, but then it didn't break this high. So this is basically we still haven't received a new higher high. Hence price came back down to grab momentum to break this previous high to give us what? A new higher high. It's a new higher high because it is higher than the previous high. After a new higher high, it dropped back down to give us what? A higher low. It's a higher low because it's higher than the previous lows. Do you understand? Then from the higher low, it gave us a top. It didn't break the high again. Same applies to the other one. It dropped again down to give us a new higher low as a way of grabbing momentum to break the previous high and giving us what? A new higher high. After a new higher high, we're expecting what? A higher low. After higher low, we're expecting what? A new higher high. After higher high, we're expecting what? A lower low. Price keeps on creating new highs because it's an uptrend. That is why we're saying price, you'll see price rising and creating a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. So basically breaking previous highs and creating new highs in an uptrend. That is why price keeps on rising. So that's how an uptrend looks like on the real-time market. Now let us talk about a downtrend. A downtrend. Let me do this. Command Z. An uptrend. If you can know how to identify this is basically an identification of structure. Whenever we're referring to structure, this is what we are talking about. A trend. Trend is the most important thing. If you can know how to identify a trend, then most of the things will just make sense whenever you are faced with them. So now, going back to this one, remember we said an uptrend, you will see price rising and creating a sequence of new higher highs and higher lows. What is a trend? It's a tendency of price moving in a particular direction for a period of time. Remember, it cannot be for a longer time. Yes, we have long-term trends, short-term trends, and short and medium-term trends, but then it cannot move in that specific direction forever. You understand? So now, this is how you identify how do you define and identify an uptrend. Now let's talk about a downtrend. Let us remove these ones. Now we are talking about a downtrend. A downtrend. Okay, a downtrend is basically the opposite of an uptrend. Because in a downtrend, you'll see price falling to the downside and making a sequence of lower lows and lower highs. So in this case, it keeps on giving us new lows as it keeps on breaking previous lows as it falls to the downside. Remember, for an uptrend, it keeps on giving us new highs as it keeps on breaking previous highs. We keep on getting what? New highs. Hence it is called an uptrend. But for a downtrend, it keeps on breaking previous lows as it keeps on giving us what? New lows as price keeps on falling to the downside. So for a downtrend, and write down, for a downtrend, you'll see price, falling down, giving us a sequence of lower lows and lower highs. A downtrend is basically a bearish market, by the way. It's a bearish market. So you will see price falling down, giving us a sequence of lower lows and lower highs. Let us take price back to normal. Okay, now let me give you a drawing first before we can jump into the real-time market. For a downtrend, that's why you're calling it the bearish market. It's a sell trend. Price keeps on breaking previous lows and giving us new lower lows. So at the top, what you'll see first, you'll see a high. You'll see a high. Then second, you'll see price pushing down, giving you what? A low. a low. Then after a low, price will exhaust back up and give you what? A lower high. Why are we saying this is a lower high? Is because of it is lower than the previous high. Hence we're calling it what? A lower high. So after a lower high, price will give you a new lower low. This is a LH, it's a lower high. Then LL, it's a lower low, ne? Lower high. Lower high. That's why we're saying price keeps on giving us a sequence of lower lows and lower highs as it keeps on falling towards the downside. As it keeps on falling towards the downside. These are lower highs. At the top we have lower highs, at the bottom we have lower lows. LL, lower lows. Lower lows. So from this high, price gave us a high, it dropped, gave us a low, then it exhausted towards the upside, giving us a lower high. It's a lower high because of it failed to break the previous high. So we're calling it a low high because of it's lower than the previous high. Then after giving us a lower low, it dropped and broke this low, giving us what? A new low. That's why we're calling it a lower low, because of it is lower than the previous low. After a lower low, it exhausted towards the upside, giving us a new lower high, because of we call this a lower high because it is lower than the previous lower low. Hence it keeps on giving us what? Lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, and lower lows up until the trend reaches its destination. That is why we're saying for a downtrend, price keeps on giving you a sequence of lower lows and lower highs as it falls towards the downside. This is basically the opposite of an uptrend. For an uptrend, you'll see price rising, giving you a sequence of higher highs and higher lows. We're basically dealing with highs on uptrend, and we're basically dealing with lows on the downtrend. Uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. Downtrend, lower lows and lower highs. We keep on getting new lower lows as we keep on breaking the previous lows. For an uptrend, we keep on making new higher highs as we keep on breaking previous highs. So for an uptrend, we are creating new highs. For a downtrend, we are creating new lows. Let us take a look at how it looks like on a real-time market. This is how you identify a downtrend. A downtrend, which is a selling trend. It's a bearish market. It's a bearish market. That's why you focus mainly on selling opportunities than buying opportunities. So let us take a look at the real-time market. If you can check currently at this point, okay, price moved up. At this point here, price gave us a high, it pushed down, gave us a low, came back down, gave us a lower high, it dropped, it gave us a lower low, came back up, giving us a lower high, it dropped, gave us a lower low, came back up again, giving us a lower high, dropped, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then the trend changed from here and went to the upside. I'll explain how do you identify, how do you see whenever trend is ending, maybe over the next coming videos. So now let us let me mark this using the call out 2. This is a high. This is a high. I'll explain to you why I'm saying this is our high. This is our low. This one is our lower high. Why is it a lower high? Because it is lower than the previous high. So it's a lower low. It's a lower low. Then after a lower high, what do we see? We're seeing a lower low. Why is it low? Because it is lower than the previous low. Hence we're calling it a lower low. Price is making a sequence of lower lows and lower highs as it falls towards the downside. As it falls towards the downside. Lower lows at the bottom. We have lower lows at the top. We have lower highs. Okay, I think this was our last lower high. Yeah. Then we had our lowest low here. This was our lower low. This was our lower low. From here the trend changed. Okay, let me play this back to here so that you can get a clear indication of what's happening. So this is basically a downtrend. Price keeps on giving. It gave us a high, it dropped, gave us a low, it came back up, it failed to break the previous high, giving us what? A new lower high. It's a lower high because it's lower than the previous high. After a lower high, it went back down, giving us a new lower low because it has broken the previous low. It gave us what? A new lower low. That is how we confirm that price is now in a downtrend. It keeps on giving us new lows as it breaks our previous lows. That's how we see what? A downtrend basically. After low low, what do you expect? Price exhausted, giving us a lower high. It failed to break the previous lower high. That is why we're calling this what? A lower high. So after a lower high, it went back down, giving us a new lower low, breaking the previous low, still confirming what? Our downtrend. After a lower low, what do you anticipate? You're anticipating a lower high. After a lower high, you're anticipating a lower low. After a lower low, a lower high. After a lower high, a lower low, up until the trend ends. So that is how you see a downtrend. Overall, this is basically a downtrend. Price is falling towards the downside, giving us a sequence of what? Of lower lows and lower highs. It's a downtrend. It's a bearish trend. It's a sell market, by the way. So let me take it back to here to tell you why did I start with this one. Why did I just went to this high specifically? Because of, like, remember initially we had this being our uptrend. We had this being our uptrend. This was our uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then this was our higher high because of it has broken these highs. Then price shot back down. Instead of breaking this high, let me zoom in so that you can get to understand what I'm saying. Instead of after this high, it gave us a low. So instead of pushing up, giving us a new high, it failed to break this high. That is why the trend now started to change into what? A downtrend. How did you confirm this is a downtrend? How did you confirm that? Let me show you. How did you confirm that? From this point, price came back down, giving us a low. Instead of giving us a new high, it failed and gave us what? A lower high. So what was our confirmation that this was becoming a downtrend? Price has broken what? The previous low and giving us what? A new lower low. As soon as you see a new lower low, you now know that this is becoming what? A downward trend. Then you'll see price coming back, giving you lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, until to the downside. And I saw something here. Let us play two. Okay, let me cancel this here. Same applies to here. If you can check price from this lower low, we are anticipating what? A lower high. But price, look closely here. Let me remove this. Look closely. But price from this point, instead of giving us a lower low, to continue giving us more lower lows, instead of giving us a lower high, to say from this point, to continue giving us lower lows, it has broken this lower high. So now whenever a lower high is broken, in your mind you have to ask yourself, why is this happening? Maybe a trend is changing. How am I going to confirm that? You will see price after breaking the lower high, it will give you a high, come back down, giving you a higher low. Why is it a higher low? It's higher than this one. After high low, what will you see? You'll see price going back up, giving you what? A new high, coming back down, giving you what? A higher low. So now what are you anticipating? Another push to the upside, since price gave us an indication around this area that the trend is changing into an uptrend, no longer what? A bearish trend. I think I'm making sense. I'm making sense. So now I don't want to like confuse you with a lot of more information. I just want you guys, obviously if you're at an advanced level, you already know what I'm talking about. So if you're still a beginner, you can go and try to identify these trends on multiple of pairs. If you can know how to identify a trend, then you'll get to understand the market better. Because, like, for example, let me give you a quick tip if I can end this video. For example, remember I said the market moves in cycles, right? You not only just focus on the market moving in cycles. The most important thing that you must understand first is the trend. After identifying the trend, you can now start to identify the phases of the market, which are impulses and correction. So for example, let's take a look at having an uptrend, for example. Okay, an uptrend. Let me use this, an uptrend. Obviously impulse, correction, impulse, correction. This is basically an uptrend. So what is it that you do whenever you get on a chart? You first identify your uptrend first. Okay, now I have a low. I have a low. What is next? I have a lower high. I mean a high I meant to say. I have a high. Okay, if I have a high and a low, if I have a low and a high, what is it that I must see first? What is it that I must see next? Either a lower low or a lower high. So in this case, I have what? A higher low. Why is it a higher low? It is higher than the previous low. Hence, calling it what? A higher low. So now, how do you confirm that the trend is confirmed? You have to see price breaking the previous high and giving us what? A new high. So price has broken the previous high. It is giving what? It is giving us what? A new high. We're calling it what? A higher high. So now a trend is confirmed. You only need like this confirmation. Only how many confirmations do you need? Let's count. Okay, you only need a low, a high low, and a break of the low to confirm a trend. So you basically need 3 points. So price will do this. This is a trend. We haven't got to face identification. We're still on the trend. This is a trend. A low, clone, low, high lows. So now we know that this is an uptrend. How do we see that? Price gave us a low, gave us a high, it came back down, gave us a higher low. It's a higher low because of it's higher than the previous one. It should break out the previous high, and it is giving us what? A new high. So in my mind, I know that okay, price is now presenting to me an uptrend. How do I see that? Price is rising towards the upside, and it's giving me a sequence of higher highs and higher lows, and it keeps on breaking previous highs. How do I see that? It's forming new high highs as it goes to the upside. So after a high, it gives you a high low. After a high low, it is giving you a high. After a high low. So now after identifying a trend, you can spot it out. Maybe use a trend as a guideline, as a trend. After doing that, you will now ask yourself, okay, fine, what are the phases of the market? What is it that I see? If you can check in this case, I have an impulse. Remember I said an impulse is a solid move. You'll see it by higher candlestick momentum. We have a correction phase. We are now like trying, I hope I'm not confusing, guys. We are now like trying I'm trying to show you how effectively can you use these things combined. So this is a high, remember? Okay, let me change the color. This is a high low, high low, high low. Now let's remove these labels here so you can get a clear chart. Yeah? A clear chart. You now know your trend. Now you want to identify your phases. This is a low, obviously. This is our new all-time high. You know that okay, price is giving me a low, a high, high low, high low, high low. Okay, this is a confirmed uptrend. Now let me dive into identifying my phases so that I can get to know what phase am I in the market. So if you can check, this is an impulse, correction, impulse, correction. That's how the market moves. Impulse, correction. Now whenever you question yourself, well, okay, now this is a correction, then what phase is this? This is basically an impulse, and it's a new all-time high. What is that I'm anticipating next? A new higher low plus what? An exhaustion phase, since the market has given me what? A new all-time high in an impulsive manner. After an impulse, what do I expect to see? An exhaustion. That exhaustion will present to me what? A continuation pattern to the upside plus a higher low of this confirmed uptrend. So now I'll know what is going to happen next. That's why a trend is the most important thing whenever analyzing the market. After a trend, you must identify significant levels. After your levels, you must identify your phases. After your phase, you must identify what your pattern. After pattern, your entry level. Easy as that. When I'm talking about significant levels, I'm talking about sensitive areas. Some call them support and resistance. Sensitive areas where you see strong reversal points. You don't like mess your charts with all those lines. You just have to check your major strong reversal point from the higher time frame, which is the previous high and previous lows. I already explained that in the previous videos, but then in this video I just wanted to like outline this method of identify how important it is to know how to identify a trend. Basically, after knowing how to identify a trend, you can combine them with this phase identification. You are now like adding more solid confluence into your trading or trading plan, by the way. So this is how they work. Go to your multiple of pairs, try to identify your phases. Your trend. After a trend, identify your phases, then combine them. You can also take a look at this drawing, this chart. For instance, for instance, let us take price back again to where it was. Let's say initially we had an uptrend, right? So now let's identify our trend. This is basically what? An uptrend. This is an uptrend. Okay, sorry about that one. This is an uptrend. Yeah, this is an uptrend. How do you see that? You have a low. After a low, you had a high. After high, price exhausted, came back down. It gave you what? A new high low. After high low, it came back to retest this one. It failed to break it. It went back down to grab enough strength. It's called collecting orders. After that, it went back up. It broke this previous high and gave you what? A new high. That's why you're calling what? A higher high, because it's higher than the previous high. After the higher high, it came back down, gave you a low. It is a higher low because of it is lower than the previous low. After low, it went back up, gave you high. Higher high, lower low. Higher low. Higher high, what do you anticipate next? A higher low. It doesn't have to necessarily reach the trend line. The trend line, remember I said, it's just there as a guideline. These tools, these technical tools, they are there as a guidelines. You do not depend on them, you do not rely on them, because of they are easily broken. What you have to do is just use them as a guide into understanding the shape and structure of the market. Do you understand? So this is what we have. What are we expecting next? We're expecting a new low, which is a high low, in form of what? In form of a corrective manner to give us a continuation into giving us what? Momentum that will break the previous high to giving us what? A new all-time high around these areas here. So let us take a look at what price does after that. Doesn't have to necessarily reach the low. The trend line is there as a guide. So price pushes back down. Okay, let me play this a bit faster to the trend. Went back down. Okay, going down like that. If you can check now, a new low is confirmed. A new low is confirmed. Sorry about if you can hear the noise. The new low is confirmed. This was a correction. This was an impulse. This was a correction. After an impulse, what do we expect? An uptrend. Plus, what we're having again? We're having what? A high low. We're breaking what? The previous higher high. Forming what? A new all-time high. So this is how you combine these things together in order for them to give you that better accuracy and into understand the market. So go into two different pairs, try to identify these trends, and don't try after you've done that, you can also like comment on the comment section, tell us if it is working for you or not. And also don't be afraid to tell me on what things that on what is that you want me to actually do on this channel for you, because like I've opened the channel to give people information basically. So that is that I think that's it for this these trends, and I really hope you caught a thing or two. So that's it for the video. I really hope you got something from it, and I hope it was helpful. and thank you for tuning into the video. I will see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and if you are new, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification button, the bell I meant to say, so that you can be updated every time I upload a video, so that you can get to learn something or two. This will help us grow together. And also don't be afraid to comment on what is that you want me to improve on the channel, on what is it that you want me to do for you guys. So I've opened the channel so that we can all get to learn how the market moves, get to understand the market, and get to have that consistent mindset, not only profit mindset towards the market, consistent accuracy towards the market. So I really hope this video helped you guys. A market breakdown will be coming after this video, I think on Sunday. So nonetheless guys, this is Innovative Traders. We're out.